fucking go. Oh, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for this shit. Making sure everything's fine before we... So I can finally focus on this drop. $40, baby. 22 edition, LS Nerve. Yeah, we'll check all that out here in a sec. I want to watch the main live. By the way, bro, I do some cool art stuff. Mind if I show you some? Yeah, if you want, son. Discord, my Discord's same as my stream name. Go for it. You got IG? Yeah, my IG's linked below. You scroll down on the stream. I got all my socials linked below. Go right here on my page. I got it all linked below.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. And today
Follow
we're
you on
here to
IG.
showcase a new
Bet.
expansion
Send me
for
some shit over there.
PoE 1. It's certainly been too long since we had one of these. Now, we had some struggles as a studio for a little while there, but we've got our shit together and we're back in action now to a 4-month cycle for both PoE 1 and 2. That means the next PoE 2 League will be in August, and the next PoE 1 League after that will be in October. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Skull
I'll be
of
able to
Undeath
send
helmet
after you follow back.
skin
Yeah, let
by
me look.
following the instructions below.
I got you.
This Skull of Undeath will track and show your total
I got
number
you,
of
brother.
kills, deaths, and your KDR. Just because Path of Exile isn't a first-person shooter doesn't mean this isn't important. Proudly or shamefully, link it to your friends or in global chat to show it off.
I love that.
And with that, let's get to why you're here. Secrets of the Atlas.
I love that.
You can
I just
search
followed you
1,000
back, brother.
worlds and still never
I
truly
got you,
discover who
agents.
you are. Trust me,
Just sent you over a follow.
I should know. But now, I seek something more tangible.
Got it, bro. Bet.
Someone I care for.
Bet.
Trapped within the Atlas. Reliving memories. Made real.
Oh, I'm so hyped for this.
Made
Let's get into this.
grotesque, Made foul.
What we got for this drop?
These manifestations must... Their threads must be eradicated. I must have answers. We must find the originator.
Why
We
is
must
it?
save
I never have lag with watching stream.
my sister.
Is it their stream or me? Why is this stuttering? I don't like it. New pinnacle bosses by hanging. Okay, we'll just go 720p. Whatever.
Come, child. Drink deep. The
Betrayal
waters of life.
rework? Fuck yeah.
You're either a client
Mercenaries of Trothus.
just done.
Man, this is gonna be so dank.
Your sanity is not promised to you here.
Oh, I'm so hyped. Let me make sure drops are on for y'all.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile.
Yep, drops are on.
As you just saw from the trailer, there's a lot to show you. Today, we will take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas in-game update. Then, we'll explore the new Challenge League, the Mercenaries of
Make sure
Trothus.
this-
After that, we'll cover the integration of Gold into PoE 1 and how we're bringing Settlers of Kalgur into the core game. Finally, we have a much-awaited upgrade to Betrayal League and a set of quality of life improvements. Then, we'll wrap up by discussing our Boss Kill Race event, showing you our new supporter packs, and ending with a live Q&A session, where Ziggy D will ask Jonathan and I your questions from Twitch chat. In Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas, strange rifts have begun to appear across the Atlas. Zana has returned and appears to be trapped within.
There we go.
Partway through the endgame, you will meet Egan, an intelligent man of mysterious heritage. These tears in reality he has discovered are actually threads of memory, distorted and made real by the Atlas. Egan is able to create a link to these memory threads and open portals to them.
I'm bringing synthesis
Working with
back.
Egan, you must step through and find Zana, or whatever remains of her.
We are. I guess we're going back in time to find
Okay,
Zana.
so that's
Try to
the
save
story
her.
background. But how does this expansion actually work? In The Secrets of the Atlas, the pursuit of Zana with Egon is a new storyline that is introduced in high-tier maps. Upon meeting Egan and discovering the tier, he will then transfer it to your map device and reveal this on your Atlas. A thread of
Oh,
memories.
Okay.
In order to now access
And
each
now you
map
get
on
to-
the thread, you simply need to talk to Egan when you're ready, and he'll open the areas in sequence.
Okay.
These areas can be fully influenced by your Atlas tree, scarabs, fragments, and everything of the sort.
Okay, good, good, good.
As you work your way along the thread, you will discover that these maps have manifested dangerous threats, influenced by the memories of Zana herself.
Perfect, perfect.
Monsters here are imbued with memory petals. Defeat them to absorb this power, which
This
can
game
be
looks
unleashed
good.
as
It
a
is,
special
bro.
ability
It
during
is.
combat.
I wish I could do it in higher quality. It's
Different
just
maps on
making
the
me
thread
lag.
have different abilities, and these abilities or mini skill bar
This
next to your
game
regular
looks.
skills.
The graphics on
For
this
example,
game just are phenomenal.
Memory of Disbelief will cause all affected monsters to stop dropping equipment items, meaning they can now only drop more valuable items, like currency. and
For some reason
maps.
it's
Memory
lagging
of
though. I
Panic
don't
will
know
make
why.
all affected monsters
It might be
revive
good now though.
immediately after death,
Spoke too soon.
which means you can get twice as much experience.
Spoke too
and drops from them.
soon.
And Memory of Impatience will cause all surrounding enemies to give you their souls, temporarily increasing your power. As you progress further into the thread of memories,
Okay, we're good.
the
We're
maps
just
can
gonna go back
have more than
720p.
one memory.
Not gonna worry about it.
As you gather memory petals, you can use these powers together. Each skill costs its own amount of memory petals.
When will you
So
stream
using the
next, bro? I
examples
stream
above,
every day. So
you can
I
first
stream every
use
day
Memory of
for
Impatience
anywhere
to
from
become way
5
more
to 8
powerful.
hours.
Then use Memory of Panic
got my
to
stream
prepare them to
schedule,
revive when they are slain. Then use
posted
Memory
below.
of Disbelief to cause them to drop
If you wanna
better,
check that out.
more valuable items. Finally, obliterate them all. The Memory of Panic will kick in, causing them to revive, and then wipe them out again, allowing you to get all the experience and
more?
enhanced drops twice.
Wow. Okay.
There are many combinations of these powers,
That's
so
big.
you'll have to carefully consider how they best work
That
together.
is big.
That's not the only extra layer of
I mean, that
content
is
juicing these
very
maps
big.
offer. As you defeat the boss of each map along the thread, you are presented with an altar. This
Another-
altar will apply a modifier to all
I'm not a big
following maps in
fan
the
of the
thread,
altars, bro.
and these will stack as you go. So the deeper you delve into a memory, the more mods you will have.
I'm not
This,
a fan of the
combined
altars.
with the special abilities, will allow for some of the most juice maps ever run in Path of Exile. Let's take a look at some of the altar mods.
Did that just say
You are always
juiced
presented with
maps,
two
bro?
choices and
Did
must
that
pick
just
one.
fucking say juicy
This
maps?
mod, for
Oh,
example, will
baby.
cause some rare monsters
Oh,
to be possessed by
baby.
tormented spirits. Where this mod makes Kerak
Map
modifiers free to craft.
Blood. Oh my
Both
god.
of these apply to all subsequent maps in the thread. The
Bro,
final map in
this
each
is
thread
going
is a
to be
true
a
challenge,
juicy
with all the
leak.
altar mods applying to it and guarded by a
I
powerful
don't know what
boss.
build I want to leak start.
Each of these bosses are familiar, but dreamlike, drawn from Zana's memories and warped by the Atlas into something very different and terrifying. In this map, you will fight the pinnacle boss, Cirrus.
I usually start
Fueled
something
by
different every
Zana's
league, but
affectionate
low
memories
key I
of him,
may.
his enhanced abilities can
know.
prove to be a unique challenge. If you manage to defeat Cirrus, or one of the other warped memory bosses, they will drop a map fragment, which Egan can
I mean,
use
if they
to
didn't
delve
nerf
deeper into the memory
LS,
tears.
I may just start LS.
With these, you
Gotta
can
go,
access
bro.
a
Have a
set
good one,
of
son.
3 new pinnacle
Hope you catch around
bosses.
another stream sometime. Appreciate the follow.
In this arena, the moment
Really
of
do.
reverence, Zana is reliving a memory of her father, Valdo, giving a passionate speech in Oriath.
Check the IG
The
Demon
Atlas
Runner. I
distorts
got you,
this
bro.
memory of her
I got you.
father as a powerful, influential man, and manifests those emotions into a twisted
you, son.
nightmare. The
I'll check it out.
incarnation
D&D
of
back.
dread.
Let's see what's up.
Another memory created is the Incarnation of Neglect and the Incarnation of Fear. Good luck, exiles. Of course, if you are brave and strong enough to defeat them, each of these new pinnacle
could
bosses
start a
have new unique
bleed,
items befitting them. If you slay the Incarnation of Fear, you might be lucky enough to find the Starcaller unique Abyssal Axe. We're gonna show this one because it's straight up badass.
Hell yeah.
The Starcaller Axe is a weapon that can harness the power of the stars themselves.
It's
to
just
deal
free
immense
cast on
damage.
crit.
What makes it shine, however, is that on melee crit, it casts Starfall, a new skill. With the right build, you can carpet entire areas and wipe out screens of enemies as you rain down
This
the
may be a
elements upon them.
Cyclone League starter.
Another item you may find, and this one is my favorite, is the Wine of the Prophet unique flask. It consumes a lot of charges, but every time you use it, you draw a random divination
Okay, so
card.
then-
This card appears above you and correlates to a powerful buff.
What?
If you draw the Escape card, you'll gain increased movement speed. Or maybe you'll draw the Doctor, which will cause you to gain the modifiers of slain rares.
Headhunter. Holy shit.
Effectively, you can think of this unique as being many other uniques all in one.
That's so
There are
sick.
many cards to draw, each with varying degrees
That
of
is
power
so
to grant.
badass. Holy.
Okay, but let's get back to the Atlas.
Holy.
After defeating all 3 new pinnacle bosses, you'll be able to find new memory-influenced Tier 16 maps. These maps come with the previously mentioned special abilities and monsters infused with memory petals, but can also roll the same modifiers typically found on Tier 17
This
maps,
will be
making them
fucking
far
sick.
more rewarding. With all these new memory maps comes a new item mechanic. Items in these maps can drop with memory strands, and will have a random amount, up to 100. This does a few things. When you identify the item, it will increase the tiers of
Holy.
modifiers your item has.
Wait. What?
Generally speaking, the more memory strands, the better the item will be. On top of this, whenever you're crafting that item using currency orbs to replace or add modifiers, such as alterations, chaos, and so forth, it will consume some memory strands to make the crafted mods more powerful.
This looks
The new pinnacle bosses also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to
More
manipulate
currency,
the
we
amount
love
of
it.
memory strands on an item.
We always love more currency.
The Orb of Remembrance will let you add memory strands to any normal equipment. So if you have your perfect base to craft on, and it doesn't already have memory strands, you can add some before crafting it.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Orb of Unraveling will consume all remaining memory strands on an item to randomly upgrade its mod tiers. This orb's effectiveness is based on the number of memory strands it consumes.
So if you roll a good,
The
drop
Orb
a
of
good
Intention
rare,
can
you
be
can make
used
it
on
even
memory
better.
influence maps to reduce item
Interesting.
drops, but improve the chance to find items with memory strands.
Okay.
In the process of adding these new currency items, we realized something was missing. The
They're always
Shaper
showing off
and the
their
Elder
spectral
did
shield,
not have
bro.
their own Exalted Orbs. This has now been rectified.
Hell
Both
yeah.
bosses now have Exalted Orbs, which can add their influence to an item.
Fuck yes.
Zana was there from the beginning, when the Shaper Pinnacle fight was first added. She helped defeat the Elder, and she was a
Holy.
critical part of the Conqueror's storyline. Now, with all 6 influence types having their own Exalted Orbs, the cycle is complete.
Hell yes.
It's almost as if we could now do some sort of new, epic, unique item to interact with them. In other news, there of course has to be Atlas passive tree support for this new
yes.
in-game
It's
content.
probably gonna be like the one
Let's
where you
take
can
a
keep
look at a few
corrupting
things
it over and
around.
over again.
The
You
Grasp
can probably
of the
just
Past
slam
notable
it and
passive
only
skill
get those mods.
increases the chance for the amount of memory strands on items dropped in your memory influence maps to be lucky. This means it will roll the number of memory strands twice, keeping the highest
Oh my
value.
god.
By allocating traumatic experience, remembered kindness, or educated upbringing, you'll decrease the chance of finding memory threads that lead to specific bosses.
Pretty sure this drops
Meaning
tomorrow.
you'll have better chances at finding the memory threads you would like to run. This is especially useful if you want to target farm a specific boss because of its unique item drops. In sum, the secrets of the Atlas will have you questioning what is real as you attempt to free Zana from warped memories scattered throughout the Atlas.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
You'll fight new Guardian and Pinnacle bosses tormenting her, find
This
crazy
is
new
going
Pinnacle
to be
uniques,
fun.
combine and unleash Memory Petal empowered skills, juice maps to new heights, and craft powerful new items.
Oh, I'm so
While we were
fucked.
showing all the juicy rewards from the
changing
new
gold?
in-game system,
The way
you
gold
might have
works?
noticed that a lot of gold was dropping. Let's talk about that. Gold was introduced during the Settlers of Kalgur expansion. It funded the development and operations of King's March, along with various new features such as the currency exchange,
Yep,
the black market,
it was decent.
and the passive respec system with Faustus.
This is nice. This is a nice thing.
Those
to have.
features offered
It's a
by
little
Faustus will be
expensive,
here to
but it
stay,
is nice.
along with some of the other services King's March has to offer. We'll get more into that later, but don't worry. King's March has already been completed.
Nice.
There will be no more town building.
Nice.
Like before, gold will be used for town services, but we're also adding a new way to use it in the upcoming league.
Nice. Thank
It's
God we
time
don't
to
have to
talk
go through
about
all the town
Mercenaries
building
of
bullshit
Trathus.
again.
In this league, you will meet veterans who have traveled all the way from the
Trathus.
lawless cities of Trathus. They're ready to offer their sinister services, but not for free. You will encounter these mercenaries as you journey through Rayclast, one in each area. They have their own personalities and come with different builds, skills, and items already equipped. After meeting them, as per the Trathan code, they will challenge
I don't
you
want
to
to
a
go.
duel,
I love
a
Ellie
test of
Hit.
strength and conviction.
Ellie Hit used to be my.
Before beginning the duel, you will be offered an overview of the mercenary you've encountered. Here, you can see the gear they have equipped, the skills they employ, and any
Sick.
support effects augmenting those skills. You must now make a choice. You can hire their services, take one of their items, or exile them. If you choose to hire them, for a gold cost, they will accompany you as a skilled combatant to assist you in fighting monsters throughout
Oh, that's
Rayclast.
sick.
Once you've decided, you can begin the duel. This is a great opportunity to test them, as you don't want to be out of pocket with a useless rookie. However, they're testing you too. They also don't want to be working for an amateur. So, what items might they be using? Generally speaking, mercenary gear is more powerful than what you'd normally find from defeating monsters, as they've been crafting their items too. They can also come equipped with unique items, those that would make sense for the skills they are using. There are even some new unique items that can only be obtained from defeating them.
These are gonna be
One such
hard
unique
to
is
kill. I bet.
Scornflux. These boots combine agility with
Increase
the mastery of the arcane.
Cast speed when it search
While
also for
equipped,
move speed.
increases to cast speed
Damn.
from Arcane Surge also apply to movement speed, which is worth noting is now 20% inherently from Arcane Surge, up from 10. They also grant Arcane Surge when you use a movement skill. This allows for some speedy spellcasters.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may meet particularly infamous Trathan mercenaries, bearing the name of their house. These mercenaries descend from the 4 major death trade families in Trathus.
Saxon Maid.
They are less common, but have far better items. And they are also the sole source of items with new, infamous modifiers, unseen before in Rayclast, such as these gloves, which convert all of your minions' fire damage to chaos
Jesus.
damage.
Oh.
Or this helmet,
Holy.
which causes nearby enemies to take more physical
What?
damage as you gain more fortification.
What the fuck?
If you're not swayed by any of their equipped gear, however, you can always challenge them for the contents of their pockets. If you lose the duel, don't worry. You don't need to give them an item. You aren't bound to Trathan tradition like they are. However, you are bound to Rayclast tradition, so you'll just die.
Almost at me. Well, not
And then yeah, that would disappear. Makes
While
sense.
playing in a party,
Makes sense.
each player can decide whether or not they want to participate in combat against the mercenary. For each player that opts in, the mercenary gets more difficult.
Yeah, it's
But if they're defeated, each player has a 50% chance to get a random reward,
okay.
which is usually currency items from the mercenary's pouch.
Okay.
Alternatively, party members that opt out of the fight can spectate and cheer you on. Or they might wish for your demise, so they can pick up that allocated divine waiting off screen.
dead. Good.
Let's say you won the duel, like their items, and have decided to hire them.
They'll take the
What
items
combat
on the
skills do they bring
ground.
to the table? Each mercenary has an archetype. Here, this mercenary is an Eruptor, which perfectly couples with my slower, more aura-focused Scion. This mercenary is highly aggressive, and will get a lot of benefit from the auras and buffs I provide it. When I'm playing a more aggressive character
Okay.
myself though, I'll want a mercenary with a bit more resilience and utility. I've just run into a Striker,
Zarnok
who
the
can spawn
Detainer.
with Vigilant Strike. And if you're lucky, a very rare golden support that causes the Fortify granted by his Vigilant Strike to apply to me as well. He will also frequently use Enduring Cry, taunting enemies off of me, and operating as a tanky frontline while I blitz off damage from the back. Sometimes when you fight a mercenary, you may notice the skills they're using are different from normal. For example, this sniper is using a Trathan version of Siege Ballista. If you're lucky, you will be able to select it as your reward when challenging them, then defeat them and they'll drop the Trathan gem as promised. You can only have one mercenary accompanying you at a time, but up to 3 total in your service. The other 2 will wait patiently in town. Having varied options is useful, as there may be situations where you need specific backup, like a difficult boss fight. Any of your mercenaries you have active, or in your reserves, can have their equipment replaced with items of your choosing. They don't level up, so you will want to be looking out for more skilled and more powerful mercenaries as you advance through the campaign and endgame. If your mercenary falls in combat, you will need to return to town and spend some gold on healing supplies to get them back on their feet. Then perhaps consider giving them some upgrades, if you think it's deserved. I just wanted to clarify, mercenaries do not lose their equipment when defeated. If your merc buddy consistently fails you, you can just dismiss them and find a new, more resilient ally.
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Earlier, I mentioned you could exile mercenaries. If you keep running into a mercenary archetype and you think, man, this guy stinks, their gear is trash and they have no auras, you can then choose to exile them. If you win the duel, they'll be forced to leave with their tail between their legs, and you won't encounter that archetype again for a while. Now, alongside these new Trathan arrivals, we shouldn't forget about the recent Kalgurin ones too. As we mentioned earlier, the Settlers update introduced gold-based respeccing of passive points. You can now do so by talking to a number of NPCs throughout Rayclast, starting with Bestil and Lionized Watch. Black market item gambling, previously just available in Kingsmarch, is now available in each town at the same NPC. This lets you buy randomly generated item bases for gold. Very useful if you're stuck for upgrades or searching for a specific unique. The currency exchange will be returning too. Starting from Lionized Watch in Act 6, you'll be able to find Faustus, who can help facilitate these trades. Now, after almost a year of building, Johan is finally satisfied with the upgrades made to the town, and now its services can be used to their full effect. Kingsmarch is going core, but there will be no more town building. As you start running maps in the endgame, you'll start to find different ore veins, which Kalgurin workers can mine for you. The shipping mechanic invites you to send these ores and crops to Karui and Kalgurin ports, and they'll return rewards in kind. By sending shipments, you'll receive different items, but by sending to Karui ports, you will also receive tattoos, which can be used on your passive tree to change what stats they grant. The Kalgurin ports will be sending back rune grafts, which is a new passive tree mechanic that replaces the runesmithing service previously offered by the town. These are similar to tattoos, but instead of replacing stat nodes, they replace a passive tree mastery node. For example, Runegraft of the Bound reduces bonuses gained from boots, but increases bonuses gained from gloves. Runegraft of the River has a chance to recover your life to full if you reach low life. And the Runegraft of Time, which has a chance for your cooldown skills to instantly recover from their cooldown, which I will note includes cooldowns on your triggers, just in case you wanted to trigger even more spells. There are many other rune grafts which cover a wide range of different builds and stats. Some are more common and others rarer. You can only use one of a given type at a time, but you can use them on any mastery on your passive tree, which can be particularly useful for off-class investment. Isla has continued to make modifications to the Recombinator. She has developed a new method of recombination that you may recognize from Path of Exile 2. For those unfamiliar, this method allows you to decide which modifiers on the two input items you want to try merge together, and it has a success chance you can see. This method can result in the items being destroyed. However, it is a good option to use when trying to create items with fewer mods to use as crafting projects. Given the existing recombinating mechanic was very powerful for top-end crafting, we didn't want to remove it. We have kept it, and you can now choose to use it the old way or the new way. By letting fate decide, it will combine the two items randomly. There is no risk of destroying either item,
I'm
but it
not
will be less
a fan of the old Recomb. Like, not a fan at all.
As Settlers is now a core mechanic,
Genuinely
we've also
not a
added
fan.
Atlas passive tree support.
Like, at all.
For example, if you wanted to gather more Verisium ore, you could take this notable. Each ore has a similar node. Refiner's Bargain converts items dropped by possessed monsters into
But my
thaumaturgic
hair's
dust,
dog shit. I know.
sulfite into random ores,
Whatever.
and life force into random crops.
Shit.
We've also added a set of Kalguran Scarabs, so you can add more ore deposits, increase the rarity of monsters that guard ore deposits to at least magic, or gather smelted bars from ore you mark instead of ores. To sum it all up, Kingsmarch is now a thriving town where you can employ a swath of workers to collect resources, refine ores, craft items, and run maps for you. Send shipments of resources in exchange for tattoos and rune grafts, using those to modify your passive tree to an extent never seen before. Following on from that, we've also made a substantial
Ooh,
rework to another
I'm
important
excited
mechanic,
to see this.
Betrayal. As a refresher, and to explain to new players, let's briefly explain what Betrayal is. Betrayal is a mechanic introduced in Act 9 and tells the story of Jun Ortoy and her investigation of the Immortal Syndicate.
Yep.
This is a mysterious group of exiles who can seemingly come back from death. You must help Jun to uncover their leader, the Syndicate Mastermind. The Immortal Syndicate is organized into 4 divisions: Transportation, Fortification, Research, and Intervention. As you encounter the Immortal Syndicate members, you'll gain intelligence for each of these divisions to discover the location
Are
of
they
their leaders,
buffing Ellie
tracking them
Hit?
to their safe houses. Defeating the division leaders at their safe houses will
never do
reward you
this.
with intelligence on the Syndicate Mastermind.
Without Crash, there's no reason.
In your journey to track down the Syndicate leader, you'll manipulate the members of the Immortal Syndicate to change divisions, form friendships and rivalries, the Syndicate for a time. Historically, after encountering and defeating the Syndicate Mastermind, the state of the Immortal Syndicate would reset, requiring you to start from the beginning of the
Are
investigation
they making it
again.
not reset now?
This has always been a difficult decision for players and can often feel bad. Do you fight the Mastermind for a chance at the special loot, or keep farming the safe houses that you've spent so long setting up? Well, in the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've split out the Mastermind to be completely separate from the core mechanic.
Okay.
The boss is now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from the safe house leaders at high levels. The Mastermind no longer resets the state of the Immortal Syndicate. You can now build your betrayal board to
Yeah,
your
I'm not
liking,
gonna interact with this at all.
optimize it,
It's
do
interesting.
Mastermind fights,
I'm not the biggest
and
fan
reap
of
the
Betrayal,
rewards without
but
having to lose all your
it's
progress
something.
every time.
It is
The
something.
boss fight itself has also been improved, now with significantly fewer immunity phases and new rewards. By the way, if you're a new player to Path of Exile 1, don't worry about all this detail. This content is optional, and you can discover and engage with it at your own pace.
I mean, Betrayal's nice.
Is that me? Oh.
I mean, yeah, Betrayal's like
Mastermind still has
fun
a
and
chance to
nice,
drop
but
the
it ain't
Veiled
nothing
Orb,
like crazy.
now renamed to Veiled Exaltador.
It really ain't nothing
Yep.
Veiled Chaos Orbs are being
crazy.
re-added to other safe house leaders.
Nice.
Okay.
In addition, the Mastermind now drops the new All Flame Embers. All Flame
They're
Embers
bringing-
are map fragments that replace monster packs in in-game
Yeah,
maps
they're
with
bringing
different types of special
all
monsters.
flames back.
These packs have unusual properties, compositions,
Meat
or
sacks
rewards.
are back on the
For
menu.
Oh,
example, you
no.
might use the All Flame Ember of Coolmore,
Not fucking
which
all
replaces packs
flames,
with syndicate
bro.
monsters and their leaders, who revive after the map
There's
boss has
no
been slain.
way.
This might at first sound annoying due to backtracking, but these monsters when revived are far more intense and rewarding.
There's no fucking way, bro.
It is our intention with All Flames to provide many different types that combine with other mechanics, multiplying with your existing modifiers in new and interesting ways.
Meat sack farm.
Another good example of this is the All Flame Ember of Propagation. When slain,
Substitutes
special
monster
rare
packs
monsters
in
added by this
area.
All Flame here will spread their modifiers to other rare monsters in the
That
map.
is insane for
This can be
juicing.
useful when trying to create singular, very powerful,
That
and
is.
very rewarding
Do you guys
monsters.
understand how
Something akin
Arch
to meat
Nemesis
sacks,
rewards
which are
multiply?
making a reinvented comeback with this update too.
It's gonna crash the server with meat sacks in this.
Another is the All Flame Ember of Resplendence, which adds monsters that drop no items. But when you slay them, you get buff stacks of increased quantity
Adds
and
fu-
rarity.
a
to
minute
enhance the drops
30?
of all
I
other
turned it off.
monsters.
What? What?
All Flame Embers can be placed
How
in
do
your map
I-
device like scarabs,
hang on.
and used in conjunction with scarabs to further customize your maps. We're looking forward to seeing which combinations players find to enhance their maps.
I mean, holy
Perhaps
fuck.
you'll use all scarabs, all flames, or maybe mix and match.
Oh,
It's
this is
up
gonna
to
be
you.
fun. This is gonna be fun.
How?
The Mastermind's unique items have also been improved. The veiled modifiers generated on these
This
items
is
are now
going
from a
to be
custom
fun.
pool exclusive to those uniques. Bitterbind Point, for example, can now have various Spectre-specific outcomes, such as +1 additional Spectre. Aside from improved rewards from the Mastermind, all the Safe House rewards have
Quasar
also
salt,
been
thank you.
rebalanced. We've done a pass on
It
the
shows
crafting
I have
sprees
it
at the
off,
end of
but
many
I don't know
safe
how to-
houses. For those who aren't aware how these crafting sprees work, well,
Maybe it doesn't
it's simple.
refer. I know there's,
There's
a
a
way to do this
crafting bench
live.
with an item in it
Fuck.
and a bunch of currency. There's a limited amount of time.
I'm not-
and your
I don't
only
like
objective is
these.
to craft the best item possible.
If
before
they
the
give
time
it more
ends.
time, that's
One
fine.
of the problems that the crafting sprees have is that they often require you to have specific items on hand
Yeah.
in order to best maximize your result. But how are you supposed to know that
Ruiz
beforehand?
with the sub.
In order to solve this,
No
most
shit.
of the crafting sprees now offer pre-generated items.
Thank
This
you.
has also
I'm
allowed
sorry,
us to
I
add
thought-
much more
I thought I
powerful
turned it off
crafting
for this,
options
but-
in each spree. Let's take a look at a few examples. In this spree, a randomly generated amulet or ring will be waiting for you.
We get a mist.
Test your crafting skill or luck with this reflecting mist crafting spree, and see if you can create
That's actually
something
funny.
worthy of And in this spree, you will find a pre-generated unique item.
That's
and a new
actually
kind of orb
insane.
that resembles a Valorb, but not quite the same.
Chin touched.
Normally,
fellow.
you
Wait.
can only corrupt an item once, but uniques in this spree can be corrupted and re-corrupted as many times as there are orbs.
So if you
This
get a
orb
good
also allows you to
unique,
get two
Does it
corrupted implicits
have a chance
and
to-
has a much lower chance to brick the item. It can
Yo,
be a very useful
okay,
tool
we're
for
doing-
seeking
okay.
specific corrupted implicit
Syndicate's
Okay,
gonna be the
fuck,
play
it's
then.
betrayal.
push your luck,
Yeah.
you can still ruin the item.
Syndicate is going to be the move.
There are also crafting
Holy
sprees
shit.
where you still need to provide an item, but those items are generally more accessible.
Holy
and
shit.
occurs
Wait, did he
less
show a
frequently.
3 implicit dagger? Was
This
that
one allows
dagger
you to
3
bring your
implicit?
own
It had 3
normal
damage rolls.
rarity item.
And there's no
Then
hybrid.
just
I
go
don't think.
ballistic with a whole ton of scouring orbs and orbs of chance.
Bro, this is
hoping
gonna
to
be
get your ideal
sick.
unique.
It
I
had-
may even
it
do-
had
Sprees,
3, I'm pretty
the
sure.
rank of
That's
the
not a.
syndicate
There's
member
no
increases
hybrid.
the amount of currency
I may do a
provided
short
Four
stream
implicit
today.
of
the
hell.
pre-generated items and the time allowed to craft your item.
The way I
Aside from
could
the
go
crafting
all out
sprees,
for
there are
tomorrow.
other new options too.
Holy shit.
If you love gambling for currency, how about you try opening Varici's Emperor's Luck chests? These work just like the Emperor's Luck divination card and provide full stacks
And
of
he's gonna get
currency.
20 divines, which will
If you're
never
lucky
happen.
enough, unlike me,
Okay.
you could end up with a whole lot of divines.
That will never happen.
It's-
Don't do that.
Betrayal is a
You're
good
never
source of
getting
veiled
a
items.
20 divine drop.
Veiled items have some important
20
quality of life
mirrors, yeah,
improvements
no.
in this expansion too.
The most you may
crafting
get
bench
is like
options
20
normally granted
exalts.
by
That's
unveiling
gonna be
items
like
are instead now
most you're
moved to
ever
the
gonna
core
get.
game, so you don't need to run Betrayal to unlock them.
nice.
They are instead found at the entrances to boss rooms and in-game maps.
Nice.
On top of that,
That's
you
good.
no longer need to speak to Jun to unveil items. You can just right-click them,
Thank
or the equivalent on
the
gamepad,
fucking
and select
Lord.
which veil
Oh
modifier
my
you want to
God.
unveil.
That's so.
Overall,
That is
the
big
trail
quality
is now
of
much
life.
more streamlined and more rewarding. Happy interrogations.
Shut up!
Now, before we get
Character
into our quality of life
balance?
editions,
Okay.
let's quickly talk about some character balance.
Here we
We'll
go.
be doing our regular character balance
Uh-oh.
changes, where we are bringing
Here we
outliers
go.
in line to help evolve the meta.
Here it
but we are
is.
also focusing
This
our
is the
attention
main
on buffing
thing.
some specific things.
Do
This
your
includes
worst.
spellcasting supports that
This is the
specifically
main
enhance
thing.
self-casting builds, channeled spells, adding new
I called
options for
it!
the Guardian,
Channeling buffs,
Berserker,
we're in!
Elementalist, Saboteur, and Champion Ascendancy classes.
Oh, we're
which
back.
include some favorites from some of
Incinerate,
the alternate
boys.
classes from
Incinerate.
Legacy of Freesia, and buffing a whole bunch of transfigured gems that never really hit
It's
the mark.
incinerate time.
Combined with the new endgame crafting, improved betrayal crafting options, rune graphs for your
Yep.
passive tree, new pinnacle unique items,
And the game's
new modifiers
completely
and draft
different.
and gems from the mercenaries, and of course the mercenaries
Wait, he
themselves
said
to act as
Freesia
an
what?
extension to your character. It's safe to say there's a lot of new character options and builds to think about.
Oh my God.
Instead of delving
Free
into all of
Nimbus?
these in more
Wait, I
detail,
have to go
we
back and
figured
watch.
we'd
I'm
just
gonna
let
have to
you absorb
rewatch
them
all
through
this.
the patch notes,
I'm gonna
so
need
you
the
can do it at your own
slow-mo.
pace.
We'll probably skip the Ziggy
In the
D
secrets
interview.
of the
and just
Atlas
watch-
expansion, we've also added a lot of the quality of life features.
Let's
that we know
go. What
you've
do we
all
get
been
for
asking
quality of
for.
Oh,
life?
Saboteur gets
A lot of
Nimbus.
these have already been posted,
50%.
but let's take a look now in case you missed any.
Okay.
You can now pause the game at any time by pressing escape to open the menu, or by opening any
Debate
full-screen
logging out
interface,
after opening
like the
freeze
Passage.
box.
You'll also be paused if any lag is detected, or if you disconnect.
Oh, low key may
It's
do a
worth noting that in
trapper.
certain pinnacle arenas, a debuff will be applied to you that prevents you from pausing.
Low key may do a trap build for
We're
League
also
Start.
making a change to how you use currency items
We've
on
seen
strong
most of this
boxes
already.
and monsters imprisoned in essences. Based on the currency in your inventory and the state of the strongbox, these buttons will appear. Valuable
Nice.
currency like divine orbs have been excluded from this as it would often be wasteful to use in this context. The same applies to essences with the remnant of corruption currency. Orbs
Nice.
of Horizon have been updated. They can now reroll your Elder and Conqueror Guardian maps.
Seen these,
Fuck
these
yes.
Doing
guys.
so will reroll the base map and the Guardian.
That
of
is
Vengeance.
so big.
The map device now has
Did
a small
Indomitable
additional
really go to
inventory.
3 mirrors?
This is particularly useful if you're rolling many maps to run in sequence.
That
Or
is so
if you
big.
want to use varying amounts of scarabs
Or was that
other
free
That
Freesia
is so
undeniable?
quality of life. Oh my
During
God.
breach encounters,
Like,
all
oh
the
my
splinters will
God.
be automatically collected and dropped at the end of
That
the
has
match.
to be Indomitable.
Big. I knew that one.
Free
On
Shot Undeniable
gamepads,
wants 3.
we have
Jesus.
separated the targeting of monsters and non-monsters, so you are able to target them independently. This removes a bunch
Another
of frustration when you are
inventory.
trying to interact with objects in the
Now
world
all
and
those
monsters
maps in my
nearby.
inventory can go there.
You no longer have to kill all of
I
them
just gained
first.
20 inventory spaces.
Vendor windows will now remember your last search. This is remembered until you log out, and is remembered on a per NPC basis.
I don't know
The
how I
amount
like
of
that.
characters you can type in the search field has also been increased.
I don't know how I like that.
When using currency items, after right-clicking them, it will highlight all other items which that currency can be used on.
Yo, I just want to point out.
There are many other quality of life improvements, so keep an eye on the patch notes after this
Path
live
of
stream
Exiles at
concludes.
330k
Alongside the
concurrent
launch of
watching.
Secrets of the Atlas, we are hosting
We
a
might
competitive
break the
event
Steam
where
record.
players will race to be the first to
Like,
kill
if you
the
assume
new
all
pinnacle
those people
bosses.
will play,
The event will take place in the hardcore, solo self-found Mercenaries of Trathus
I think that's more than Settlers.
some
Yeah, I think
interesting
Settlers is
prizes
like
in store
280.
for
Oh, I'm so fucking hyped for
Keep an
this.
eye on the news and the lead up to launch for more details about how the event will work.
I'm
and what its
so
prizes
fucking
are.
excited for this.
Next
Blah.
up, we're
Don't
going to
even
be
understand.
talking about our new League supporter packs.
Alright.
Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs.
Take
This is
my
on
money.
The
YouTube,
Frisian
right?
Magistrate
Or is it
and
not
Just
yet?
take it.
I want to watch.
Each tier
YouTube has a better
contains the
video
pack's
player
full
for
face
watching
value and
VODs.
points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions.
I'm
As
so
always,
fucking
the
excited for
microtransactions in
this.
these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Frisian Magistrate series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
It's not on YouTube.
The Frisian Magistrate character effect will bind your
Okay.
character in thorny vines and roses. You can select which parts of the character you want to have covered. Either your entire body, your lower body, or your upper body.
That's cool.
As you approach waypoints, it will emit leaves and golden petals towards it. When activating the
All
waypoint,
of this
it will
money
create
will
a
go
burst
toward
around
Path
you.
of Exile 2.
Envelop your
keep
weapon
that
in
in mind
thorny
when you
vines
buy.
and golden flora with the Frisian Magistrate weapon
Yeah, it
effect.
does go to PoE
Your
too.
weapon will also create a trail to match as you swing, and even comes
One
with its own hit
C,
effect when slaying enemies.
Literally 1C.
You are the law, while wearing the armor of the powerful Frisian Grand Magistrate.
I mean, that is
The
kind of
Spider
cool.
Blossom Pet activates its defense mechanism, disguising it as an elegant flower when
That's
near
cool.
rare or unique enemies.
That's cool.
Gonna buy
The
extras
Frisian
to piss
Imperial
Brom off.
Magistrate back
I
attachment comes
am
in
not
two
spending
forms.
money on the game for a very
Equip
long time.
either the Tombstone variant, which
All
will
the
leave
money is
tombstones
going
in
to
your
PoE
honor
too.
when you meet your demise.
As long as that
Or
doesn't change,
equip
I
the
won't be
Cape
spending
variant
any
to
money.
cause the corpses of slain enemies to become enveloped in rose-thorn
I haven't
vines
spent money
and
since
blossom
last
with
July.
golden flowers.
I mean, that's cool.
Keep track of how well, or poorly, your ultimatums with the Trial Master have gone with the Trials of Chaos hideout.
I
tutorial.
like Celestial's part.
It will keep track of the
Why do you
total
like
number of
Spider?
waves completed, the total number of ultimatums succeeded, or even failed. On top of that, it will track the total number of times you've defeated the Trial Master
Committed to a
himself.
4-month cycle.
The Crypt Keeper Pack series
I
also
mean,
contains
Committing
6
to a 4-month
exclusive
cycle and giving us a
microtransactions.
4-month cycle are two different things.
With the Crypt
They've
Keeper
committed to a
finisher
lot of
effect,
things they didn't
death
do.
itself will tear through into the realm of the living and steal the soul of slain unique enemies. The Crypt Keeper portal effect creates a gateway for lost souls to pass through.
Like, do I get my money back if they don't do a league in 4 months? What if it's 11 months again? Do I get my
Become
money
the
back?
true master
I
of
bet
the
I don't.
undead by wearing the hallowed
So I'm not
Crypt
gonna
Keeper
spend
armor
it.
set. It comes with a more armored helmet variant and a creepy mask with a spectral hood. Looking to have some fun during idle time in your hideout? The Burrowing Bramble Bash hideout decoration will test your reaction speed as you try to whack as many Devourer heads as possible in the shortest time. It also comes with a scoreboard, so you can try to set new records to show off to your friends or just visitors coming to trade. Equip yourself with the Ghostly Dead as you ride the line between the living and the dead with the Sacred Crypt Keeper back
Flicker
attachment.
strike.
The Sacred Archives map device resembles a magical library
that's
with the works
pretty
of
sweet.
scholars that come to life when you open a map.
If I was
This
going to
map device
spend money,
tracks how many of each core league you've completed in in-game maps.
I would get that one.
These packs are now
I'm
available for
so
purchase on
tired.
both PC and console, and will remain so during Path of Exile Mercenaries of Darkness.
So tired.
Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2.
I'm going to buy none of them.
Meanwhile, the Paladin
'Cause I do
and
not wanna
Penance
give money to
packs
PoE
leave
2.
the store forever at the launch of the Mercenaries of Trathus League. So now's your last chance
You don't
to
want to buy
purchase
the
them.
PoE 1 because you don't want to give money to
Additionally,
PoE
the
2.
Dawn
That's
of
kind
the
of funny.
Hunt mystery box will be